Yo, what's going down? How you doing? Hey, this is Trainer Jake with TrainerJakeFitness.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, Jake.Harwood, Harwood. You can find me on Twitter or Snapchat. Feel free. Subscribe below. Questions, comments, good, bad, I don't care. Comment, questions, anything you want to know, need to know, hit me up. If you watch this video, you like it, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know. If you want to see something else or want me to further go a little bit more in depth or deeper on something that I talk about in here, please let me know. Again, this is Squat 101. This is the basics. We're going through the basics. After I do this series, we'll follow it up with some more advanced things. Last video, I talked about the shoes, what shoes I like to wear, what shoes I don't like to wear, and why you might pick a certain pair of shoes when you're squatting at the gym. Okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to follow that video up from the shoes, and now we're going to talk about the feet, placing the feet, how to utilize those feet to create forces that will help you move better and prevent injuries. So not only will you move better, but you'll move better for a longer time and not get hurt. Okay, check this out. I wrote this word right behind me. That says torque. This says ACL. We're going to talk about the ACL. We're going to talk a little bit about torque. And what's circled right there is the official name for the ACL, in case you want to know. And I'll move out the way so you can see that in just that moment. All right, I'm going to use my hands as my feet today. Recently had somebody come into the gym. She's somebody that's been working out for a long time. She does a lot of CrossFit, and she reached out to us on the website, asked a few questions, came in for an assessment, put her through the squat assessment. Very first thing she did, she turned her feet out about 45 degrees on a bodyweight squat. And then I went ahead and progressed her. I didn't ask questions. I knew about what her max numbers were at. And so what I did is I put underneath a bar after we got properly warmed up and everything. I didn't just dive underneath the bar. Put her underneath the bar, let her squat a few times, saw a few reps, wanted to see what it looked like, a little bit of load on there, a little bit of stimulus. Feet stayed in the same position. All right, so then I stopped and I said, hey, why do you put your feet like this? She told me, well, you know, from when I first started, you know, quite some time ago with CrossFit, that's just what the coach said, that I should turn my feet out. All right, so I'm here to just say to you, I see this a lot in the gym, and it's common for people to come in, they have some similar things that they say to me, you know, maybe my football coach back in the day or whatever it was, right? Told me to place it like this, all right? Usually, people put their feet like this, well, maybe they don't know, or they lack maybe range of motion. Maybe that's some range of motion issues. And so they tend to turn their feet out, similar to putting those plates under their feet like I think I mentioned last time. So what I'm going to do with a new person, average Joe, average Susie, anybody probably, unless they're a super advanced athlete, and I feel like we would go a whole different route with that person, okay? But let's take everyday person, all right? I got my feet like so. I'm using my hands as my feet. I'm going to set somebody's feet straight ahead until we figure out that we should do something different. Everybody, if you watch this, I would love for you to start with your feet facing forward. I'll allow you maybe up to 15 degrees, slightly turned out. CrossFit person I mentioned, they're probably about 45 degrees, okay? And so we've brought her feet back in. This is what we want to do. We're going to set our feet like so. So I got the shoes that I feel comfortable in. Now I'm going to walk into the gym. I get myself properly warmed up. Hopefully you're doing all the good things. Do a little dynamic warm up. Body's ready to freaking move. Got the blood flowing. Bam. Tissues are loose. All right, so I'm going to set the feet. What I want to do is screw my feet into the floor. And I mentioned this last video. Common coaching cues are screw the feet into the floor. If you haven't heard these, pull the floor apart with your feet. Or perhaps even pretend like your feet are on dinner plates and think about you turning those dinner plates. So you're thinking about turning them, although it's not turning. So I plant those feet firmly on the ground, and then I try to pull the floor apart. Like, see how my hands are moving apart? I don't actually want my hands to move, so I'm going to pull as hard as I can. You see how my elbows are actually rotating forward? This little torque force we're talking about is very much similar for the shoulders. See how I'm creating torque there? Turning those. And the hip, okay? Quick illustration. I randomly grabbed these right before I turned the camera on. This is how I roll. This is a ninja sword. Yeah, what up? Probably, some my kid probably hits me with the floor too often when we're battling. This is a little neon ball that I found chilling in his room. I'm going to use this to illustrate the femur. and the ball and socket hip joint here, okay? This is my high-tech demonstration here. Okay, yeah, there you go, okay, got it. All right, visualize that. So when I plant my feet and pull the floor apart, what I'm actually trying to do is create torque in my hips. When I do that, a couple awesome things will happen. One, you'll probably move more weight. Two, you'll reduce the risk of injury. And I'm going to give you a couple examples real quick in just a moment here. You're going to feel better. So, you're new to the gym. If you're staying at home, sitting at home watching this, stand up. Squeeze your butt real tight. Get your feet firmly planted to the ground. Now make sure your big toe is your anchor. Your big toe, feel it into the floor. Your foot's completely flat, with big toes into the floor. What I'm going to do is now I'm going to try to pull the floor apart with my feet. I know you can't see my knees at the moment, but I'm trying to actively pull this apart. And when I do, I'm on carpet with socks, so I'm slightly sliding, but my big toe's really dug in, and so I'm not moving much. What happens is if I peek down at my feet, although that's a bad habit to look down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that I have this nice little arch in the foot, and I'm super tight everywhere. And as soon as I start the hinge process here of hip hinging, bam, what will happen is my knees are tracking outward. You know what? Let me move this out of the way. What the heck? Why not? Bam. You can see my knees now. Sweet. Check this out. So I set my feet. I'm standing really tight and tall. Everything's tight. Drunk. Everything's tight. Boom. I screw the feet in. And as soon as I start to hip hinge, can you see the knees? See where they're at? If they were on lasers, they're probably like shooting out here. They're not shooting back at you, okay? What you can't see is my feet are dead straight ahead. And that is how you create torque in the hip. So you hear coaches say like things like, you know, knees out, things like that. You'll hear, it's a common thing to hear in the gym, knees out, knees out. What you got to understand is that the knees out are coming from something other than just pushing the knee out, okay? The knee out doesn't make, if you tell people to push the knees out, their ankles are going to roll up. I mean, their feet are going to roll up off the ground, their ankles are going to roll. It's going to be a crap show, okay? So what we want to do is learn how to screw our feet in, create the torque in the hip, okay? That's what happens. Like, this is the ball and socket here, right? As I screw that thing in and take the slack out of the capsule there, it makes it tighter, so there's no slack left. And then it's a stronger, tighter, more stable joint. I assure you, if you can master that very small thing and then learn to maintain that through an entire squat, your squat performance will improve. Not only that, if we think about the ACL, which is the other one I wrote up here, okay, super common injury, super common injury and tear, okay? Sports is huge, right? And normally it's a result of this. See an athlete, a football player running down the field, gets hit. Dang, I'm watching that thinking, oh man, ACL issue. All right, so if we keep getting having those knees collapsing, put a ton of stress on that ACL. I really want to avoid that, short term and long term, right? I don't want to put the injury up there. So if you want to test this at home to feel this, you don't have to put your leg like I am. I just want to show you. I was just putting this up there for my illustration. Okay, I'm going to have my knees out all the time. Doesn't matter where I'm at. You can get me in a lunge, unilateral, single limb thing, bilateral, doesn't matter. I'm going to keep this torque force in my hip at all time. So for the moment, I'm going to relax this bad boy. Take your fingers, middle finger, right over the top, point at you. Right over the top of your pointer finger, put this here. Let's use this for our ACL illustration, okay? What I want you to do is take your lefty, put it right over the top of that bad boy. Just hold on to it, okay? All right. What I want you to do is this. Take your hand. Go ahead and take your right hand here that's in there. All right, so assume this is the ACL. What I want you to do is I want you to externally rotate it. And if you don't know, I'm going to take my hand out real quick. Externally would be, I'm going to go this way. If you don't know external, we want to learn external. That's a beginner's best friend when lifting, okay? So I got the ACL. I'm in here. If I take my right hand, the one that's in there, the ACL, and I turn it externally, which is what I'm teaching you to do right now by screwing your feet in, you can feel that thing. It's nice and tight. It's not moving. Everything's good. Now what I want you to do is keep that same position. Hold on to it. Now I want you to take this hand. You're going to turn it internally, okay? Or to, in case you're not visualizing this, this would be external if I do my job with my foot and screw this in. This would be internal, which I'm telling you is so bad. I don't even like doing that right now. Okay, so take this hand here, and now I'm going to take this right hand and I'm going to turn it internally in here. Turn, 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 turn. And as you turn, you will feel your fingers sliding apart. No doubt about it, okay? Just turn them. Like, you're not trying to fight the wind here, okay? I mean, fight, grip. They'll come undone. You can feel that comes undone. That alone will tell you that this is a much more stable position than that alone, okay? Keep that in mind next time you're squatting. We want to set the feet, screw them into the floor, pull the floor apart. Think about your feet on dinner plates, and I'm twisting those plates. Remember, I'm not spinning on plates though. My feet should not be doing this. I'm not dancing. So start straight ahead, screw them in. That's where you're going to get the maximal torque, the greater. The more you turn your feet out, less and less torque force you're going to get. Eventually you're going to get to a spot where you're just not creating it. So start here, learn to screw them in, and start working through the movement. I strongly suggest start with body weight. Do this at home. Feel comfortable. Record yourself doing it. All right, thanks for checking it out. We'll continue with Talking Squat 101 on the next video. Again, subscribe below. Comments are welcome. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, keep lifting and do not